What is going on, Movie Meals? Movie Meals, thank you, Movie Meal patrons, Kimberly and Karen. Guys, we're about 100 subscribers away, a little less than that from getting to 2,000. We would love your help on that, so we decided to do a giveaway to a random fan who, is commenting, liking, sharing, supporting us for a great hoodie like this. So we would like to give that away. So please check out all our videos. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, and do that and help us get to 2,000. But we're here for Ted Lasso. This will be similar to our Succession and our Barry TV show reviews, where it'll be, if there's a spoiler, we will say it right in front of whatever we're about to spoil, if we feel we really want to talk about something. But another show ending permanently. It's not like we're here for just season 3. We're here for the end of the show as well as season 3. So let's get into it. Kyle, what were your thoughts about Ted Lasso season 3?
Real quick, just want to give a shout out. Happy Pride Month, everyone. Everyone who is in the LGBTQ community. No, we don't allow homophobes on this channel. We are all inclusive here. So, just want to give a shout out for everyone who's celebrating this month.
Absolutely.
Now on for this show, which is all about respect, inclusivity,
yeah.
Of being inclusive to everyone.
Inclusion.
We're not smart on this channel. But yeah, anyway, it leads into this show, Ted Lasso, which is a very, very lovely, funny, feel-good show that came out at the right time, if not by accident, but perfectly when it needed to during the pandemic, at the time where we didn't have much when it comes to good stuff coming out at that point, but we also really needed something to lift our spirits at a time where not just the pandemic, but many other forces within our entire lives were just having this very cloudy shade over us that was just nothing but bad. We needed something to lift our spirits. And along comes Ted Lasso, which was just a very big surprise of a show, of a concept, and it just wound up being a very delightful show in my opinion, where not only is it funny, but it's also just respectful of trying to show compassion to people who are going through hard times, whether it's mental health, whether it's because of something that you're keeping hidden close to the vest, whether it's learning to accept who your parents are as people and having to learn to deal with the good and the bad that came from them raising you. Just so many different personal, real-world stuff that was able to encompass into a show that just always made you feel good at the end. It didn't shy away from tough topics, that also knew how to put a smile on your face, but also make it relatable to lots of people, in my opinion. Everyone is just super incredible on the show. I thought that a lot of it was just very well respected and well thought out, and it also just, I'm not much of a football fan, of soccer at least, as we say in America, but it did make me kind of be interested in the sport just a little bit more, because it did bring some excitement to how the sport works, while also making fun of it at the same time, but I don't think in a disrespectful manner. So, on that note, I just want to say thanks to Ted Lasso for being able to put a smile on my face, and just being one of the very... almost feels like one of the very few comedies where it's just able to make me laugh all the way through. What about you, Alex?
I want to speak on 2 parts here. I want to speak on the show as a whole in season 3. I'm going to start with season 3. I think season 3 was phenomenal. I think it's as good as season 1 and 2. I think season 1 is the best. I think it's the most put together. I think seasons 2 and 3 has moments within episodes that characters might make a decision, or the writers made a decision to go in a direction that I don't know if that was always the perfect choice, but I never ended up hating the choice. And when I look at season 3, there were a couple storylines that didn't necessarily get finished. I'm very much okay with that, because I think this show has done what it always set out to be. And I think this is a small spoiler for season 3, but in the first episode, Keeley sends a text to Rebecca saying, "Good job letting Ted be Ted." And I think that was really well written by the writers, and saying, this show is what it's always been. Do not think for 1 second that it will be anything different. If you are, you're dumb. And I loved it. That's exactly what the show was. The show was Ted Lasso from start to finish. and I'm here for it. I think that I want to stick on season 3 before I get to the show as a whole. Season 3, I thought all the performances, all the characters, I really loved all of their endings. I thought it was beautiful and brilliant. I thought it was one of the best finales I have seen in a long time. There was a shot in the finale that I think is one of the most beautiful pieces of cinematography that I have ever seen on television. I think it is so freaking wonderful, and I see Kyle's curiosity, so I'm going to spoil it right now what that moment is. But spoiler, another little spoiler here, but when they're putting the sign back together, and they're all taking the Believe sign out, that they have all kept a piece of it. Not only do I think that's a brilliant moment, they put it in the middle, and then they're like, oh wait, we should put this together. And as soon as they all go down, that camera, very quickly, it is Ted, Nate, straight at each other, and it's back and forth, and they both give each other, just insane performances. Are so good. They both give each other looks that sum up everything that matters in this show. I think this show, there was a moment in this show that I think it had one of the most believable bro talks I've ever seen. And the characters literally say, hey, real talk here. And that is so true. This show is, this season was so freaking phenomenal. That shot was brilliant in that moment. There was so much that the camera was telling us. There is so much that the actors are able to expand on because the directors and the writers and the cinematographer put the camera in the position to tell you more than you needed to know, and just so much. This show is so freaking good. This show, and now I'm going to talk as a whole here. Yep. This show does what other shows are afraid to do. We just reviewed Succession. Succession is phenomenal. I think it's a top 10 show of all time. It's so good. It had a beautiful ending. I think Ted Lasso legitimately is saying, I might be better. Because what Ted Lasso does is it takes every trope that all of these amazing shows can do. It takes every drama trope they do in Breaking Bad, in Succession, in Barry, in I can't even think of other great shows. It takes those drama tropes and it says, and I've heard the actors talk about this and in interviews, and they take those moments and they say, instead of doing the thing that everybody expects, which is undercut humor to make light of a bad dramatic moment, to up the drama in certain ways, we're going to not only take, I think, a very realistic, obviously at times Ted Lasso is a little over the top and not realistic, but I think at times they take realistic moments, they use humor and wholesomeness and say, we can do this without going there. We don't need to have somebody murder and for somebody to scream and cry and yell for you to think this is a brilliant performance. Because we can do that in another way. And we can use humor and we can use true, legit wholesomeness within a character to make it work. And for those dramatic moments to hit just as hard, if not even harder, when they do happen. And that's what I think the brilliance of this show is. And I think it is also a top 10 show of all time. I think it is so freaking well done. I think it is unique. It is different. And I do not think you can just sit and I don't even think this show belongs in the category of a comedy, because it is not a comedy. I mean, at the very least, it would be a dramedy, but they use humor so much more effectively than every other show I've ever seen, even sitcoms, that I think that just shows how top-notch the writing and performances and everything that went into making this show is. Anyway, I ranted very long. Any thoughts, Kyle?
No, I think we both have spoken our piece that the show just did a really great job at the balancing act between hard-hitting topics that need to be voiced more, but at the same time being able to make you laugh, because at the end of the day, comedy is meant to do that, whether it's just a one-off joke or whether it's for tough subject matter. And I think Ted Lasso just did a wonderful job, and I was satisfied with the ending, and I was happy with the journey that this show took me on.
All right, guys, what did you think? Comment below, let us know. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget, do that, get a hoodie. And as always, thanks for watching, Mom.
See you guys.